All right, we're on to 3.2. We're going to look at line equations, and there's going to be different forms. Here at the top, you can see slope-intercept form and standard form. Slope-intercept form you are familiar with. That is your y equals mx plus b. Your m is your slope, and your b is your y-intercept. Intercept. Okay? So b is where it begins. That's your starting value. Now, if we look at the problem, it says graph the line 3x plus y equals 4 on the graph below. Now notice that we don't have this in terms of y, so we have to solve for y. So again, this is what we need right here. This is the y we're solving for. So we're going to keep that there and try to move this 3x. And how do we get rid of it? Well, we say minus 3x, and we minus 3x on the other side. That's 0. And now y is equal to negative 3x and that 4 right here. Remember, they are not like terms. You cannot combine them. So how do we graph this? Well, first of all, let's look at the equation. And let's look here. We see a negative 3 with the x. This is our slope. Our slope is equal to negative 3 over 1. This is our rise over run. So this is rise, and this is run. Rise means up and down. Run means left and right. And 4 right here, this 4 is our b, our y-intercept, right? So this is our b right here. This is our m, okay? So first we start with the y-intercept. I need a point, and that's going to be 4. So on the y-axis, here is the 4, okay? Now the the slope says, going back here, the slope right here says I'm going to go down 3 because it's a negative. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go run once. So that's right here. So this is my new point right here. Okay. So this is, I could use these 2 points. You could use your badge and make your line, or I could go up as well. So if I go up, I would do the reverse because I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. And this time though, because that was a positive, I'll go left 1. Okay. So this is another point right here. Okay. Now my line goes through it. So I'm going to draw this line right here. So this is my line of y equals negative 3x plus 4. Okay. So let's go down here and look at the other problem. It says graph the line y equals 1/2 x minus 1. Now going back again, this right here with the x is our slope. Okay. And then this right here, the number by itself is our y-intercept, our b. So let's graph this on top. Let's find, first always look for the y-intercept. So I'm going to look for negative 1. So again, stay on the y-axis. And here's my negative 1. Now remember, 1 in your slope is rise over run. So again, this is rise, means go up. And this is your run, means run horizontally. So I'm going to, let's see, I will use another color. Let's use this color. I'm going to go up 1, so up 1, and run 2 units, 1, 2. So this is my point right here. I'm using another color. This is going to be green, okay? And I can keep going again. I can go up 1, rise 1, and run 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's another point. And I can go forever. Okay, so my line is going to go through these 3 points. Okay, those are my lines. So this is the second problem, and this one is our first problem. One, two, three. Now let's go over here. Now we're going to look at the standard form. The standard form looks like this. It is the ax plus by equals some constant, some number c. So for x, right, this x right here, you cannot have any fractions. So no fractions, no fractions, and it can't be negative. No negatives. It's got, a has to be positive. No negatives. No negative x. Okay. All right, so let's go look at this. Let's see. Write the equation of a line P. Right, here's P. Here's P in the slope-intercept form. So I see right here, there's a, let's see, what do I have here? I have, here's my y-intercept right here. So this is the y-intercept. So b is equal to 2. And, great. And see, what am I doing? I'm going to go to this pretty point right here. So I know I'm going to go up to 1, 2, and go to the left 3. So up 2 and left 3. So my slope here is negative 2/3. So let's go back here. My slope is negative 2. Remember, up and down is the 2, and the run is the 3. You notice I did put the negative on the 2, but that's the same. I could do the same thing. I could put the negative 3 on the bottom. It's okay as long as there's one negative. And here my b again is, what did we say it was? It was right there. So b is equal to 2. And I know that my y, therefore, my equation of p is going to be, let me put up here, y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 2. Okay, so that's the line P in sloped intercept form. That's this guy. That's this. Okay. Now write the equation of line M in standard form. So let's analyze this again, and we'll notice that we have a y-intercept right here, and I need a pretty point, so I can choose this guy right here, and let's count. Let me make a triangle just to make it clear, but I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I counted 4. So my slope is rise of 1 and a run of 4, and my y-intercept is at, right there, it's at negative 3. So now I'm going to write my equation as y is equal to 1/4 x minus 3. Now I want to write this in standard form, so I am going to, let me put the equation right here. Y is equal to 1/4 x minus 3. Now I want my number, let me highlight this, I want this number to stay here, and I want this number, this expression right here, to move to the other side. Right? So remember, this is my line in the middle, train tracks. So I'm going to subtract minus 1/4. Let me use real darker ink. So I need to subtract 1/4 x and subtract 1/4 x. So now this is going to be negative 1/4 x plus y is equal to, and 1/4 minus 1/4 x is right there, that's 0. So this is a negative 3. So remember, we'll go back to our rule right here. Our rule says that we can't have any fractions or negatives. So this is bad. We need to keep going. Okay, so we are going to, now, well, we can convert this. First of all, we can multiply. Well, in general, how do you get rid of fractions? We don't like fractions. So we can multiply all of this by 4. And we can multiply this side by 4. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So, sorry. Now, I want to get rid of that negative. So, let me put a little divider here. So I'm going to put a negative 4 right here and a negative 4 here. Because now negative times negative is positive. So now this becomes negative 4 times the negative 1/4 becomes just 1. And this becomes x. And this becomes negative 4 times y. Again, right? Multiply. This becomes a negative 4y. And this is equal to negative 3 times negative 4 becomes a positive 12. Okay? And this is my equation in standard form. All right, let's move on. Number 5. So let's write the equation of line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of negative 3 and a y-intercept of 1. So let's highlight these. Slope of negative 3, m is equal to negative 3, and y-intercept of 1, that's b, is equal to 1. So remember, y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to, again, negative 3, this negative 3, x plus our b is right here, that is 1. Good. Now let's go on to 6. And, okay. So let's write the equation of the line in standard form, right? Standard form. That has a slope of 4/5 and a y-intercept of negative 8. So again, this is our slope, that's m, and this is your RB. So our equation is going to be y is equal to 4/5 x minus 8. Now remember, this is not standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. So we've got to move this x to the other side here. This x needs to move over here. So I'm going to subtract minus 4/5 x and minus 4/5 x, right? Now this becomes, if I add them all up, negative 4/5 x plus y is equal to, that's gone, that's equal to minus 8. Now I want to get rid of fractions. I don't like this 5 here, so I have to get rid of that. So I'm going to multiply all of this by 5, which means I have to multiply this by 5 as well. So now it becomes 5 times negative 4/5. Both of these 5s cancel. Okay, so this becomes negative 4x, and then remember, you're going to distribute to that and to the y, so that becomes plus 5y equals negative 40. Oh, and I forgot to get rid of my negative. I still have a negative in front of the x. So I need to multiply this by, well, I can just multiply this by negative 1. I really should have just used negative 5 in the beginning. So let me just say, I'm going to change the signs. Negative 1, negative 1. So this becomes 4x minus 5y equals positive 40. Okay, so again, I should have put a negative up here. It would have saved me a step. Okay, Hoy and Vux, what do they mean again? Let's see, Hoy, it means, Hoy, let's do this, Hoy, horizontal, oops, what is that? Horizontal, there's a horizontal line, the slope is equal to 0, and your equation is going to be y equals some number, okay? Vux means you have a vertical line. It's a vertical line. Your slope is undefined. Slope is undefined. Right? And your equation is x equals some number. Okay. Now let's write the equation of a line passing through the point negative 3, 5. Of a vertical, yeah, that's the keyword, vertical. Vertical line passing negative 3, 5. So let's graph that really quick. Negative 3, 5 is somewhere here, 1, 2, 3, and you go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the point. So because it's vertical, it should look like this, right? So going back up here, look at Vux, it says vertical, slope is, so let's look at this, right? Vertical, slope is undefined, yes, okay, and it's x equals a number. So we're gonna take this, because that's what this is right here. And you're gonna say x is equal to negative 3. That is your equation, okay? Now let's go over here. Write the equation of a horizontal line passing through the points negative 8, 2. So let's look at that. So I have a negative 8. Let's say it's somewhere here. That's a negative 8. And it's up at 2. So 1, 2, so something like that. So we should have a point somewhere there. And we know it's horizontal, right? So it should look like this. Okay. So what's the equation of this line right here? So we know it's going back here. That's this, right? It's the horizontal, slope is 0. And it's a y equals. So it's going to be y is equal to, and what's the y value? Well, it's 2. That's your equation of a horizontal line. All right, point slope formula. The point slope formula, and it's a little different. This is going to be your y. Let me change my ink. Y minus y1 equals slope times your x minus x1. So again, so this is m is still the slope, and x1, y1 is a point. It's any point. It's a point on the line. So let's go here. Write the equation of a line that passes through the point negative 6, negative 9. So here's our point, and it has a slope So this is our slope equals 1/3. So again, remember, this is x1 and this is y1. So let me write the formula again. So y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay. So we have a slope, we have this, we have our x1, and we have our y. And that's y right there. Okay. So let's just fill it in. So this is going to be y minus, and what's y1? It's that -9. That's equal to our slope, which is 1/3. And x minus, and our x1 is right there. That's our -6. So let's clean it up. So again, negative and negative becomes positive. Negative and negative becomes positive. So now we're at y plus 9 equals 1/3 x plus 6. So, oh, I did close it. That is my equation in point slope form. Now let's go to number 10. Write the equation of a line that has a slope of -2 and passes through the point 4, 5. Again, this is our m, that's m, and this is our point, x1, y1. So let me write the point since this is kind of new, hardly used this in Algebra 1. So this is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And then I'm going to substitute. So again, this is y, minus is there, and let me highlight, y1 is right here, so that's what's going to go here. This is going to be 5, okay, and that's equal to m. What's our m? Our m is right, what color did I use? Pink. I will highlight m, which is here, and that's right here, so that's a -2. It's -2, and x is still x, minus, and this is 4 right here. That goes in here. That's this right here. That's your 4. Okay. And that is it. So that's our equation of a line going through 4, 5 in point slope form. All right. Slope, again, going back, slope is the change in y over the change in x, or we say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is minus, okay? This is something on the calculator. We'll go over that in person. These are the buttons to press, but let's go through this. Let's go to 11. Find the slope of the line that passes through -2, 4 and 1, 3. Right, let's say this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to find the slope, and that's going to be, let's highlight the y's just to make them visible. And I'm going to say 3 minus 4. And then I'm going to highlight my x's, 1 and negative 2. So I'm going to say 1 minus a negative 2. Okay? And that's equal to, and 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And remember, on the bottom here, minus and a negative become plus. So this is 3. Okay? So this is our slope. Okay? Write the equation of a line that passes through the points 3, negative 5, and 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to find, an equation passes right, in standard form. Yeah, okay. So let's go look through this. This is my, let's go look for my y's first. So this is my y, this is my y. Let me say these go together. I will say m is equal to 1. Let me backtrack and say this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. And let me go back here and say 1 minus a negative 5. Okay, and this is going to be 2, my x's, right? These are my x's, the 2 and the 1. So I'm going to go here and say 2 minus 3. And that's equal to, again, going back, negative and a minus becomes plus. So this becomes 1 plus 5, and that is a 6. 2 minus 3 is a negative 1. So this is a negative 6. This is your slope. Okay. This is our slope. But remember, we're looking for an equation in standard form. So we are going to use the point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Now, what do we have? Let's go look through this. We have our slope right here. This is our slope. That's m. Okay? And we can choose any of these points. Since I have them labeled x as x1, y1, I'm going to choose this point right here. You could choose the other point. That's perfectly fine. So let's substitute our numbers. We're going to say y minus y1 is negative 5. M is negative 6. X minus, and what's our x1? X1 is 3. Okay. So again, let's clean it up a little bit. Minus and a negative becomes a big plus. So it becomes y plus 5 is equal to, I should distribute. Let's distribute the negative 6 to the x and then to the negative 3. So it becomes a negative 6x plus 18. Okay. Right, I have 5, negative 5. Good. Now, let's keep going. Now, I want, remember, our standard form is in ax plus by equals sum c. So I need my x and my y together. Well, right now my x is on the other side here, right? And I have a number here too. I don't want the number there. I want it on the right side of the equal sign. So let me go back up here and let me say this. Y plus 5 equals negative 6x plus 18. And I'm going to put a line down the middle. So this is plus 5, so I'm going to say minus 5 and minus 5. That's gone, so this is just y equals negative 6x, and 18 minus 5 is equal to 13. Now I need to move my x to the other side. So I'm going to add 6x because negative 6x plus 6x is 0. And so I will add 6x on the other side. That goes away. So now this is just 6x plus y is equal to 13. And that is your answer. All right, last one. Write the equation of a line that has an intercept of negative 4. Okay, intercept of negative 4. Okay, this means that x-intercept, which means your x is going to be negative 4 and your y is going to be 0. It's on the x-axis, so it has a y of 0 and a y-intercept of negative 2. That means you have a x of 0 and a y of negative 2. Okay? So we need this in slope-intercept form, which is your y is equal to mx plus b. All right, so now we need to know what is the slope of these 2 points, of the line passing through these 2 points. So let's do this. Let me highlight my x's. Oh, sorry. Let's highlight the y's first because those goes on top. All right. So go back here. Let me say again. This is your x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to subtract your y's first. Those y's go together. So m is equal to negative 2 minus 0 over, and let me highlight the blues really quick, the x's. Your x's are here. So that's going to be 0 minus a negative 4. That's equal to negative 2. And again, negative and a minus becomes plus. So this becomes 4, which is equal to negative 1/2. So we have a slope, okay? Now I need a y-intercept. Oh, do we have a y-intercept? Yes, we do. It is right here. So our equation is going to be y is equal to m, which we know is negative 1/2, and that goes with the x, and our y-intercept of negative 2. And that is our answer.